We're group 4, and I'm Kyson.
I'm Laura.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Elizabeth.
We're talking about issues related to diversity and oppression. All group members bring with them their own biographies, meaning experiences. Barrel 210, page 235. No biases or client tells their own story. We want to have their own account of their own stories and have their own feelings, so they can be here, seen, and known. Single parent versus no children. We have um, uh, a mom, and she's taking care of her own child, trying to get him to daycare, and then she gets reprimanded by another person that has no children and who is a male, and they're trying to distinguish what is out there and how she can get to work on time. Social economic status, or the single income family. This is something that males usually earn more than a female, and if you're working hard to raise your own child, it's really hard to raise them on a female's income. And gender is usually men are usually supervisors or management, and it's another thing, especially with the single parent versus no children. That's another gender issue. That's something that we want to remedy. We would like to show this in our own role play.
A common cause of violent conflict arises from an ineffective communication between one person or group against another person or group. Instead of sitting and having a civil discussion, the disagreeing parties take on an us versus them mentality, and they tend to talk over each other. They use confrontational, accusative labeling, and other degrading language, which only causes further escalation. If there's no intervention, these behaviors can often lead to continued abusive actions until horrendous violence can occur. Two methods that can circumvent this type of violent language are: one, the common ground process as described by Barrel 2010 in Chapter 8 of the book titled Strength-Based Generalist Practice, a collaborative approach by Poland in 2010. And secondly, the use of nonviolent communication as written and instructed by Rosenberg in numerous books, media, and seminars. We will first role-play both of the methods using a fictional group of clinical social workers who work together in a private practice, and they are unable to resolve a conflict about a partner who frequently shows up late to her appointments due to childcare difficulties. Then we will discuss the outcome after facilitating both methods.
So the first resource we use is the common ground process. That is where two people sit down with a mediator, and one person talks and then the other person repeats back what they heard. And it's important to remember in the common ground process that it's not a debate or an argument, that you're simply stating how you feel and the other person is simply listening in order to repeat back. There's no resolution. The main purpose of the common ground process is to simply listen and understand each other, and you're only listening and repeating back what was said to you. The goal of the facilitator is to keep everyone on track and make sure that there are no interruptions and that they are being respectful to each other. And the process continues until everyone feels seen, heard, and known. The second process we're going to use is nonviolent communication, which is all about I statements, such as when you blank, I feel blank. And you want to use a lot of feeling words, mad, sad, glad. And you have to distinguish between needs and feelings. and make sure that you don't confuse a need with a feeling, and make sure that you're using nothing but feeling words. And it's also, there's no judgments, whether it's positive or negative, because positive judgments actually show that there's a positive side, there's also a negative side. So we don't want that positive negative dichotomy going on. And also in this process, you don't want to label or diagnose each other. You're simply stating your feelings and your needs and then making requests.
So in our first role play scenario, we're going to cover the common ground process. And in this situation, Laura is a latecomer, and I'm the narrator, and our other two are clinical social workers in a private practice together, and they're in conflict over Laura coming in late. So let us begin. There's increased tension amongst the therapists in the clinic. Laura is consistently late due to her struggle with securing childcare. All of the therapists have felt the strain as sessions have started late and department meetings have been delayed. Kyson, a coworker, feels the tension and wants to let Laura know what he is thinking and feeling in regards to the topic. The clinical supervisor, Elizabeth, facilitates the discussion. The techniques of common ground and nonviolent communication will be used to bring about a resolution to the conflict.
Thank you for coming today. I would like to take some time to discuss the increased tension in the office and the conflicts surrounding this. Each of you will be given the opportunity to express your thoughts and feelings surrounding the topic. We will begin by using the common ground technique in order to make sure that your intended message is heard and understood. I know that you have used this technique in practice before, yet I wanted to remind you that the point of this exercise is to listen and repeat back what you heard the other person say. This is not a debate. And remember that you are both professionals. You will need to repeat back what is said so that each person is seen, heard, and known. A resolution will not necessarily take place during this process. Kyson, you may begin first. Please tell Laura your thoughts and feelings regarding her tardiness.
Laura, you make us all look bad. I think that is extremely unprofessional that you waltz in here whenever you feel like it every day. Your tardiness gives a bad name to our practice. Every day I watch your clients get agitated as I pass by the waiting room. Because of you, lunch is late every day.
Who are you to make a judgment? You don't know me or my life. You do not know what's going on.
Laura, please wait to respond to Kyson until he's finished speaking. Kyson, could you begin again, please?
I think that it is unprofessional that you are always late. It reflects poorly on the clinic and the clients that are made to late. The whole day is thrown off. It makes it difficult for others to take their lunches on time. It reflects poorly on you because you are rushing into your first session. In turn, your clients do not feel like they can be open with you. I think that being on time is not that difficult.
Laura, it is your turn. Tell Kyson what you heard him say.
Now you're saying I'm a bad employee. I don't care about my work. Maybe I just quit. That would be better for everybody else involved.
Laura, I can see that this is a very challenging topic for you to discuss. I would like you to take a deep breath and try again. Only repeat back and paraphrase what you heard Kyson say. Perhaps you could begin with a phrase like, Kyson, what I heard you say was. Kyson, could you tell us one more time your thoughts on this matter?
I think that it is unprofessional that you are always late. It reflects poorly on the clinic and the clients that are made to wait. It makes it difficult for others to take their lunches on time. It reflects poorly on you because you're rushing into your first session, and in turn, your clients don't feel like they can be open with you. I think that being on time is not that difficult.
Laura, could you repeat back what you heard Kyson say?
Kyson, what I heard you say that my tardiness affects everyone in the office, both the clients and my fellow coworkers.
Kyson, was there any part of your message that you felt that Laura left out?
Yes, she did not mention that could have an effect on her client's ability to disclose information. That is such an important part of the therapeutic process.
Laura, could you repeat the message back one more time, including that part that Kyson mentioned was important?
Kyson, I heard you say that my tardiness affects everyone in the office. It causes tension among my coworkers, and schedules are shifted around. In addition, it may produce anxiety in my clients. This may be cause them to not be open and honest in a session.
Kyson, was there any part that you left Laura?
No, I think she got
Okay, Laura, it's your turn to share your thoughts and your feelings about the subject. Kyson, you will need to listen and paraphrase back, just as Laura did.
Okay, I am trying to manage being a single parent who works hard to support my family. I know that it's important for me to come to work and be on time every day. I have so many clients and responsibilities to attend. I strive to put my best foot forward, but yet when I get here, it's past time, and I can't even drop my child off at daycare because it doesn't open until 8:45 in the morning. And now it's another 10-minute drive to get here. And as hard as I try to make it on time, there's often traffic that backs up.
Kyson, what was the message that you heard Laura give you?
that Laura does not care about her job and that she has responsibilities that are going to go by the wayside.
Kyson, remember we are only paraphrasing back what was said. Can you try that one more time, only repeating what you heard Laura say?
Laura, I heard you say that you have too many responsibilities.
Kyson, I would like you to listen to Laura speak one more time. Remember, as you do so, you're only paraphrasing back what Laura said and repeating that. Laura, can you repeat your message back one more time for us?
I have a lot of important things to attend to in the mornings as a single parent. In addition to arriving to work on time, I have to drop my child off at daycare. My daycare doesn't even open until 8:45 in the morning. In addition, there's another 10-minute drive to get to work. The traffic increases at the time, and I know that my clients and other responsibilities that I have to attend are a top priority, but I don't know how to do it to resolve my current issue.
Kyson, what did you hear Laura say? Remember that you were only repeating and paraphrasing back her words.
Laura, I heard you say that it is a challenge to arrive at work on time every day as a result of taking your child to daycare.
Laura, was there any part of the message that Kyson missed?
No.
Were there any important points that he needs to share with you?
Well, he didn't include the part about being a single mom, and I do not have the resolution to my current issue. These are important.
Kyson, can you repeat the message back that you heard Laura say, including those points which you said were important?
Laura, I heard you say that as a single parent, it is difficult for you to drop your child off at childcare and arrive to work on time. In addition, you are unsure of how to resolve your current issue.
Laura, did Kyson include all the points that were essential to the message that you were trying to give him?
I can't think of anything he missed. I think he understands the message that I heard.
Good. Kyson and Laura, as you can see, this exercise did not bring a resolution to the issue that you had. It merely allowed you to be seen, heard, and known. We are going to continue with another exercise that will allow you to express your emotions regarding the topic and come to some more resolution on the issue.
As you can see, the group successfully used the common ground method. You will notice that although they argued, the facilitator kept the participants on track in order to ensure that both parties heard their message. from each other. They did not debate the topic. As Elizabeth pointed out, a resolution was not met. The group will now move forward using the nonviolent communication facilitation to come out or to come to reach a resolution regarding the issue. So since a resolution was not met during the common ground process, they were both seen, heard, and known, we will be continuing with the same scene. Now we're going to use nonviolent communication to reach a solution to this disagreement.
In this exercise, we will work on nonviolent expressing our feelings and needs to each judgment words in either a positive or a negative way. We are expressing our feelings to each other and what needs are not being met. Also, remember to use I statements when speaking about your feelings. Don't say, "You make me feel this way," or "I think this," because those are not feelings. Don't forget, feelings and needs are separate. Remember your feeling words. And we are not diagnosing or labeling each other. Kaisen, why don't you go first?
I feel like Laura doesn't care about her job, and that's why she's always late.
No, Kaisen, that's a pretty harsh judgment. Remember, we are only using I statements. I want you to say something like, "I feel this way."
I feel angry.
That's a good start. Now let's state the behavior with a feeling word. Remember, this is just an observation.
Okay, I think she doesn't care when she's late, so it makes me angry.
Remember, we are only using I statements here. Kaisen, for example, you could say something such as, "When you do this, I feel this."
Right. When you're late, I feel angry.
Hey, Elizabeth, are you still with us?
Pause the recording.
Good. Now, Laura, can you repeat back to Kaisen what you heard him say?
Well, what I heard was, "You're angry with me because I can't get my kids to daycare any earlier."
Laura, that's not the message that Kaisen was trying to give you. Repeat back exactly what you heard him say. Kaisen, can you repeat your feeling again?
When you're late, I feel angry.
Laura. Laura.
Yes. Yes.
When you're late, I feel angry.
Oh, when I'm late, I make him angry.
I don't think that's what Kaisen said. Notice the difference in the judgment of "you make him angry." Kaisen, can you please repeat that back one more time?
When you're late, I feel angry.
Now repeat exactly what you heard him say.
When I'm late, he feels angry.
Good. Now let's pair that with the need. Kaisen, what need is not being met there?
My need for everyone to be on time.
That's good. Now, Laura, can you repeat back the entire thing Kaisen just said?
When I'm late, Kaisen feels angry because his need for everyone to be on time is not being met.
Kaisen, do you feel like Laura understood your message?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Good. Now, Laura, it's your turn to express yourself. How do you feel?
Well, I feel pretty attacked.
All right, Laura. Attacked isn't a feeling word. Try to remember those feeling words.
When I'm late, I feel anxious because I need to get my kids to daycare on time.
Good. Now, Kyson, repeat back what you heard her say.
It sounds like you're making excuses not to be on time.
That's not the message Laura was trying to convey, Kyson. Can you repeat back only what you heard her say?
When I'm late, I feel anxious because I need to get my kids to daycare on time. I'm always late. My job in traffic is terrible. And on top of that, I'm trying to do my best and show up work on time, but it's not happening. It's not like I'm trying to be late. The daycare doesn't open until right before I come to work, and I can't make it to at the same time as everyone else does.
We are only using our feeling words and stating our needs right now. Laura, maybe you could just try focusing on how you feel.
I feel anxious when I'm not on time.
Good. Now, what need is not being met?
My need to be on time is not being met because I need to get my kids to daycare.
Good, Laura. Now we have your feelings and your needs covered. Kyson, I want you to repeat back to Laura what you understand her feelings and needs to be.
I hear you say you feel anxious because you need to get your kids to daycare on time, and it's interfering with your need to be on time for your job.
Good. Now, we've worked through this stage of expressing our needs. Let's go on to the next stage of making requests. Maybe Laura could start first.
I need you to understand where I'm coming from and how difficult it is for me to make it on time every day while I'll try to get my kids to daycare.
Kyson, can you accept that request?
Well, I need you to be on time because everyone else is held accountable to be on time.
That's not what Laura requested. Laura, can you repeat your request?
I need to be allowed to come in at later so I can get my kids to daycare.
Kyson, why don't you repeat back what you heard Laura say?
I have a better understanding of what you're going through. Oh. And I hear you say that you need to be allowed to come in later. So thank you for being open and honest with me about your struggles. Coming in a little later is a good idea for everyone involved.
I think we can be okay with you coming in a half an hour later. That way you can close up the clinic every night, and it would just help with our lunch coverage. Kyson, what do you think about that?
I can be okay with that.
Good. That sounds like a plan. Laura, are you okay with this idea?
Yes, that would make it so much easier for me to get my kids to daycare and also make sure I can get to work on time.
Now, Kyson, did you have any requests?
I would like it if you can be on time for the new time we'll be working with.
Well, I could do that.
As the department supervisor, I support this recommendation, and I will offer my approval for it. Thank you for your willingness to discuss these issues openly and honestly. I understand that these are emotional subjects, and they can be difficult to discuss. Yet, I feel that if these are left unresolved, they can create unnecessary tension in the workplace. Please feel free to bring any concerns that you may have in the future forward.
Going through the process of conflict resolution for an inter-office conflict, Kyson and Laura were able to resolve the tension by using both the common ground process and nonviolent communication. Their ability to work through this dilemma provided them with skills to resolve other conflicts in addition to improving morale in the workplace. The process also allowed them the opportunity to review techniques that they will use with future.
So as you can see, in our skit, we used both the common ground and the nonviolent communication. In the common ground process, our main point was to have each message be heard, each person be seen, known, and heard. So the emphasis was placed on both listening to the message and through repeating it back, understanding what the other person was saying. From that point, we moved on to the nonviolent communication, where each person could then express their feelings in regards to the topic and then make requests that they had about the desired outcome of the process.
So for the steps that we reached in our group, with all of that aside, one of the ways that we can tell that we are in a community stage is because all the frustrations are vented out and that they're heard by the other people and that they feel like that they're heard. A suitable solution was reached and that all parties felt like they could speak their mind and feel free to contribute without being judged negatively. So in times where when group 4 had disagreements, there was a brief chaotic stage, but once we felt safe with each other and felt like everybody was a non-judgmental tone and stance with them, then I feel like a strong community stage was set towards the end. Freedom of expression is extremely important in order to feel like a sense of community, in order for the group to feel like they are in a sense of community.
Thank you so much for watching our presentation.
That's it.
Bye.
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 Woohoo! We're done. Oh.
It's still recording.